Good evening, everyone, or morning, wherever you are, if you're watching the recording. My name is Michelle Chua. Welcome to Yin and Restorative Yoga with some gentle movement. So let's begin. Make sure that you have a blanket, because we are going to start with a blanket rolled up in a moment. So as you're setting up your props, you'll want to have a pillow, maybe more than one pillow, a couple of yoga blocks, and take your blanket or a beach towel and make it like a long burrito, nice and firm, rolled up smoothly. And then setting that aside for a moment. Once you have it ready, you may want to sit up on your rolled up blanket or on the ground and just take a moment to position your body, maybe shifting the weight side to side, forward and back, until you can evenly spread your weight throughout the front, back, left, and right sides of your pelvis. And then let the shoulders roll slightly behind your ears and down the back as you lift up from the bottom of your spine to your crown, letting your hands rest wherever it helps you to connect your outer being with your inner being. Maybe a hand to the heart center and a hand to the navel. Perhaps close your eyes. I'd like to open with a short quote today from the book, which we're having a book club on starting December 10, this Friday. And the book is called Nonviolent Communication by Marshall Rosenberg. And he says, transform all self-judgment into self-empathy. Transform all self-judgment into self-empathy. We know that in the 8 limbs of yoga, the very first limb and the very first yama in that limb is the practice of nonviolence. In Sanskrit, it's called Ahimsa. In all these practices of yoga, before we can go around and spreading it out into the world and helping to create solutions, we start with ourselves. And violence is not only in the form of physical actions of harming somebody, but they can also be in our thoughts, ways of speaking, including speaking to ourselves. So in tonight's practice, physically, as we lie in stillness in longer holds of body opening postures, I invite you to monitor your thoughts, to observe them with a sense of loving curiosity as we practice in mindfulness. And notice when your thoughts might arise in the form of self-judgment, self-criticism. And if so, with a light-hearted attitude, I invite you to smile inward, sort of like a scavenger hunt game, right? Smiling inward. And then we'll dive a little deeper in our meditation practice at the end of the physical. So now connecting to what's present in your body, slowly mentally scan from the soles of your feet, gradually to the crown of your head. Notice any sensations. And without changing it, sense the quality of your breathing just as it is. Notice your mind state. How you feel energetically. Acknowledging whatever may need to be acknowledged as you begin this practice. Perhaps joining your palms to meet at your heart in this gesture, bringing it all together. Union, yoga, mind, body, spirit, breath, community, clarify an intention for why you're here right now, why you're practicing yoga. Is there something about yourself that you would like to strengthen or shift? And then beyond our individual selves, perhaps call to mind someone that you care about or a cause that you're devoted to that you could dedicate your practice to. And with that, let's send out the vibration of Om, chanting it 3 times. Empty this breath. Take a deep inhale. Bow in towards your heart space. And let's release the hands. Softly open your eyes and begin to deepen your breath slowly in and out through your nose if you can, with the lips closed. Beginning the practice of Ujjayi Pranayama, victorious breathing. So while doing that, softly narrow the back of your throat so that you can hear a very subtle whisper as you're regulating your breathing to balance. And now let's find your 2 blocks. You might be using pillows at home if you don't have blocks. Take 1 block by the tallest height and place it at the rear edge of your mat. And then medium height block across your mat closer to you. And then have a seat so you're facing away from your blocks, bending your knees apart. Bring the soles of your feet together in bound angle pose. Now let's take that rolled up blanket, cross the middle of it on top of your inner ankles, and tuck the edges of it underneath your outer thighs. So the thicker that you're tucking the part that's under your outer thighs, the more you're supporting your hips if they're feeling tight. So you want to feel pretty supported here, where you can relax into this position, because we'll be in it for 4 minutes to begin. And then as you keep your pelvis on the floor, start to lower your back so that the area right underneath the bottom tips of your shoulder blades lands on the medium height block that is across your mat. Then the shoulder bones roll off into the space between the blocks. And then the back of your skull is supported by the tallest block. Make any adjustments here so that you can feel your chest open wide, collarbones broaden. Symmetry in the height of your 2 shoulders, relaxing them away from your ears. And it may be helpful to rotate your upper arm bones so that your palms are face up, backs of your hands are resting on the ground just outside of your legs. And then feel that there's an open, natural space at your throat. You're also lengthening the back of your neck. And then once your body feels comfortable, perhaps close your eyes or steady a soft gaze on one spot. And continue to listen to your breath, inhaling deeply, exhaling just as slowly. Riding your attention with the in and out breaths. And as you're focusing on your breath, whether the sound, the physical sensation, a visualization of it, notice where your attention goes. Allow yourself to witness your mind and your breath. As you maintain a gentle whispering sound in your breathing, gift yourself your presence, your attention. Feeling your pelvis here, feeling it resting on the ground below. You start to wiggle your fingers. We're gonna ease very gradually out of stillness. Continue to listen to your breath, feel your breath evenly paced, and then begin to place your hands onto your outer thighs. Slowly lifting your knees up and stepping your feet onto the ground. And so go ahead and take that rolled up blanket and put it aside as you continue to lie here. Walk your feet apart wider than your hips distance, soles of the feet on the floor, and then drop your knees together to touch. You're gonna stay on the blocks just a little bit longer. And then take your fingers in front of you, interlace them, flip your palms inside out. And as you take a deep breath, press the heels of your palms up towards the ceiling, up towards the sky. As you exhale, keep the arms like that, but plug your shoulder bones downward towards the ground. Slide the shoulder blades down your back ribs away from your neck. On your next inhale, slowly begin to lift the arms overhead only to the degree that you can keep that spaciousness between your ears and your shoulders. If the shoulders start to shrug, don't go so far back. Just take a few deep breaths here. One more long exhale. And then exhale your hands back in front of your chest. Let's switch the interlacing of your fingers so that the opposite thumb, the opposite index finger is on top, the non-default way. And then once again, flip your palms to face up towards the sky, gently straightening the arms to your degree, and plug your shoulder heads down towards the earth. Glide your shoulder blades down your back ribs, away from your ears. And then take a few breaths to lift the arms if available for you, towards overhead. Maintaining the length along the sides of your neck. Deep inhale. Listen to your breath. About 3 more cycles here. And then again, release your hands, making fists out of your hands, just light fists. Circle your hands at your wrists. Breathe in slowly. Breathe out just as slowly. Switch directions with the hands. And now separate your knees hips distance apart, feet hips distance apart. And choose to either turn over to one side, rolling off the block so you can press yourself up, or to rock forward slowly. Take your time, be gentle. And as you're coming up, you may want to turn to face the wide width of your mat. As I mirror you, turn out your left leg, straighten it out to its side. Bend your right knee open so that your right heel is just about in front of your pelvis. Take your pillow, maybe blocks and pillows, and place at least the pillow onto your left thigh, just like this. So it's tracing your leg. And then plug your 2 sitting bones down. Breathe in and lift your rib cage. Relax your shoulders down. And then place your left elbow onto that pillow. Reach the right arm up. And then lean your left side of your head onto your left palm as you flex at the wrist. So giving the wrist a little stretch here as well. Reaching the right arm up towards the sky. Roll the tricep, your outer upper arm forward so that you can broaden across the top of your right shoulder. Reaching the right arm towards your left wall. Opening up your right side of your torso. Now, if you'd like to be a bit more passive in this posture, you can go ahead and lean your right arm onto your head and just let the wrist fall. I'm going to be here for 2 minutes, not as long as the last posture. Stay aware of your breath. Let your eyes soften as you relax the skin on your forehead. Let your attention ride the sound waves of your own breath. About 3 more slow breaths here. Now activate your lower belly, drawing it in towards your spine. Press your left palm onto the pillow and slowly lift your torso upright. Let's take a moment here to transition, bending your left knee open and placing the heel in front of your pelvis, turning out your right leg and straightening it, and then transferring the pillow onto your right thigh, tracing your leg. Then plug your pelvis down into the surface below as you lift up your entire rib cage. Relax the shoulders down. Place your right elbow onto the pillow. Flex at your wrist. And then leaning the right side of your head onto your hand. Raise your left arm up and roll your outer upper arm forward. Open up across the top of your left shoulder. Breathe in, slowly reaching the left arm up and over towards your right wall. Breathe out. And then again, you have the choice of making this a bit more passive of a posture by resting your left arm onto the left side of your head and just letting the hand hang. Keep an open space throughout your neck. 2 minutes. In this moment, notice where your attention is focused on. And notice if there are moments of self-judgment, like we started with, that you might lightheartedly smile inward when you notice. Let's finish 3 more deep breaths here. And then activate your lower abdomen, draw it in towards your spine. Press your right palm onto the pillow and slowly lift your torso upright. And let's put the pillow aside so we can come down onto our hands and knees. Setting up your knees so they're maybe about 2 inches behind your hips. Setting up your wrists so they're right under your shoulders. Spread your fingers wide so your thumbs are reaching towards each other. And as you breathe in, press your chest through the gates of your arms, rolling your shoulders back, lifting your gaze. And as you breathe out, scoop your belly in, drop your head, tuck your tailbone under and round your back. Several more of these cat-cows. Inhale, draw your sternum forward, tilt it up, slide your shoulders down. Exhale, lift the navel towards your spine and dome your back. So slowly, to your own pace of breath, take about 5 to 10 more cycles of breath. And then finish this cycle of breath that you're on, emptying it completely, then relax to a neutral spine. Let's prepare for a spinal twist here and thread the needle. So pressing your left palm on the floor, inhale, raise your right arm up to the sky. Really reach up, open your chest. Exhale, thread your right arm under your left bent elbow. Flare the left elbow towards the sky and lower the right side of your head all the way down. Now, if your head does not comfortably rest on the ground, take your pillow, your blanket, any of your props to use as a pillow here. And allow a moment to feel your two hips. Can you find neutral where your left and right hips are at the same height? So that rather than twisting at your pelvis, you're turning your rib cage, twisting quite a bit at your waistline. And soften your shoulders away from your ears. Feel your shoulder blades spread across your upper back. Notice your breath again. Let's take about 10 more deep, conscious breaths here. And one more deep breath. As you're ready, press your hands into the floor and slowly rise back up to all fours. Let's take our time switching sides. Pressing your right palm into the earth. Inhale, raise your left arm up high. Feel that reach, that openness. Exhale, thread your left arm underneath your right bent elbow. Flaring your right elbow up, lower the left side of your head all the way down on a block or on the ground, whichever is most comfortable. Feel your pelvis find neutral. Level the height of your two sitting bones. And then feel your rib cage rotating. Soften your shoulders down your back. Allow your shoulder blades to spread across your upper back. And notice the gentle sound of your own breath, taking 10 more slow cycles. One more breath here. As you're ready, press into the ground and make your way into child's pose. You may want to place your forehead on a prop. You may want to extend your arms forward for an active lower back stretch, or arms by your sides. Choose the variation of your arms that listens to your body right now. Allow your pelvis to sink back into your feet. Notice what you feel here. Is there any part of your body in which energy may be shifting? Tuning into your felt sense experience. We have about 2 more minutes here resting in child's pose, Balasana. Let's take about 5 more slow breaths here, feeling into your experience just as it is. And then crawl your fingertips back to meet your knees. Let your head stay heavy. Relax your neck. And as you press your hands into the ground, take a few breaths to slowly roll your spine upright, lifting your head last. And as you lift your head, take a few shoulder rolls to your breath. Inhale, roll your shoulders forward and up. Open the mouth as you exhale, release your shoulders back and down. 4 more long sighs through the mouth. Inhale, shoulders forward and up. Side out, shoulders back and down. Counting on your own. 3 more. So now, with your hands, make fists. Give yourself a fist bump, fist to fist. Place the backs of your fists onto the ground, about a foot forward of your knees, flaring your elbows apart off the ground. Slowly begin to shift your weight forward to find just the amount of stretch you'd like to feel in your outer wrists. Relax your shoulders. Perhaps gently shake your head no. Your face, neck, and shoulders at ease. Let's take 5 breaths more here. here, lean back onto your shins. Gently roll out your arms, your hands, your wrists. Any organic movement, like you're painting the space in your hands or paintbrushes. Circular motions, crisscross motions, adding a little spinal twist, up and down motions, whatever feels good in your body. About 5 more breaths. Just moving intuitively. And then from here, let's step the feet forward. Come to sit at the middle of your mat. And place your hands behind your pelvis. Separate your feet on the floor about hips distance, maybe a little wider than hips distance. Knees are bent up. And then gently, to your breath pace, like a mini vinyasa flow, drop your knees to the right. Breathe in. Exhale, drop your knees to the left. Going several more cycles of breath here. Gently loosening your hips, inner and outer thighs, and even your sacrum. Let's take another 4 breaths. You might also be feeling a glute massage. I am. All right. Go ahead and sit up. When you're ready, shake out the legs a bit, roll out the feet, point and flex the toes. And as you're sitting up, the legs stretched in front of you, notice if your back begins to round. If so, it might be useful to take your blanket, fold it to the thickness that allows you to elevate your pelvis on, sitting towards the front edge of that blanket so that you can feel a little more taller. Draw the navel slightly in. And then from here, turning out your right thigh, cross the shin in front of you, turning out your left thigh, cross the left shin either on top or in front of your right shin. So you might be sitting cross-legged in Sukhasana, or you might be stacking your ankles and your knees. If the latter, make sure that you're flexing your feet, which means press out to the sides with your big toe mounds and curl the toes back towards the knees. You may want to move the flesh aside from your sitting bones with your hands. Really root your sitting bones down. Lift up through the crown of your head. Open your throat. Relax your shoulders. Breathe. Now you might be feeling plenty of a hip opener here, maybe in your outer hips, outer thighs. Otherwise, you could begin to bow forward, crawling your hands forward. Now we're going to be here for about 2 minutes. And if you'd like to lean your forehead on something, you can make a tower out of your yoga blocks or your pillows, whatever you have around. Those of you that are bowing, make sure that you're keeping your throat open. The shoulders are not tensing over towards the ears. Shoulders are as relaxed as possible, moving down the back. Chest is open. Feel into about 3 more full breaths here. Press your fingertips into the floor. Begin to slowly lift your chest, rising all the way up. If you have blocks out in front of you, you might set them aside so that you can extend the legs forward for a moment. And you might roll out your feet. You might roll your thighs inward and outward. And notice how you feel. Let's take a few breaths here. All right, slowly transitioning to side 2. Turn out your left thigh, place the shin in front of you, cross the right shin on top or in front of the left. So you might be sitting cross-legged. You might be stacking your ankles and knees in which your shins are parallel, which is double pigeon pose. And if you're practicing the latter, make sure to flex your feet. Press the mounds of your big toes out to the sides so that the soles of your feet are not visible from where you are. Curl the toes back. This is to stabilize your knees, keep them safe. And then if you had props set up to catch your forehead, go ahead and prepare that. Plug your sitting bones down. Breathe in and lengthen up your spine. Open your chest. Roll the shoulders back and down. Open your throat, keeping your neck long. Optional to begin folding forward. Again, we'll be here for 2 minutes. Staying aware of your breathing, monitoring your thoughts. Notice where they go. Let's sense 3 more deep breaths here. Taking your time, press your hands into the ground, lead with your chest, and slowly rise. So take a look around you and see what props you'd like to use to set your body up in corpse pose for the next 5 minutes, resting in stillness. So some options might be keeping your blanket folded up, placing it so it's a weight, a light weight, sitting on your pelvis and lower belly. That can feel grounding, sense of safety. You could also offer your lower back relief if it's needing it by placing a pillow across your mat right underneath the backs of your knees, while just letting the feet drop open wider than the hips. Might use a pillow under your head or lie flat on the ground. So set up in a way that offers you complete rest. Taking your time to make any loving adjustments. Close your eyes and surrender control of your breath. Shavasana. Still resting your body in stillness with eyes closed. Observe what feels alive in you right now. Might you notice any shift from your yoga practice? Let's start to deepen the breath. Begin to rub your thumbs across your fingertips. Ease into gently turning your head, maybe rolling out your shoulders, rolling out your feet. Then graduate into a stretch, anything that your body could use right now. You might draw your bent knees into your chest, perhaps rocking. And taking your time, maybe turning over to one side, begin to lift your body up into a comfortable seat. Find a way to sit so that you can feel grounded, alert, open, and at ease. You might choose to close your eyes for our meditation practice or steady a soft gaze just ahead where your spine feels long, shoulders are relaxed. And then choose a mudra for your hands that helps to cultivate the energy aligned to your intention today. Palms face down, thumb and index fingers to touch, grounding, palms face up, energizing. And let's ease our awareness back to sensing your body breathing just as it is. And in these 5 minutes of meditating, I invite you into the mindfulness meditation of mental noting, and that is succinctly labeling whatever actions of your mind arise. For example, planning, remembering, judging. So whatever kinds of thoughts. Let's try that for the next 3 minutes. Now, in your thought monitoring, did you find any thought of self-judgment or self-criticism? And if not, maybe call to mind a thought of self-judgment you've had about yourself in the past recently. If so, then I invite you to pinpoint that one thought and let's address it in the next 2 minutes. So with whatever statement of judgment of self, identify it. And I'd like to ask your inner being, what is the feeling behind that judgment? Use your felt sense to become aware. For example, if the judgment was, my mind is too busy, I'm a bad meditator, the feeling might be sadness. Now I ask you, what's the need behind that feeling? What is it that you actually need that may have caused that self-judgment? For example, perhaps I need to feel competent. I need to feel successful. And lastly, as we transform self-judgment into self-empathy, how might you nurture yourself, acknowledging your own feeling and your own need? Perhaps offer yourself some kind words of honest reassurance. For example, while my practice does not have to be perfect, I commend myself for showing up. Start to ease your awareness from your inner being to your outer being, your physical body. Sense the environment, the space that you're in. Now let's gently bring the palms to meet at the heart, closing this practice. Call to mind the intention again that brought you here. And remember whom or what you may have dedicated this practice to. And as we close with one last chant of Om, I invite you to feel the resonance. You're rippling into every cell of your body. You're receiving through sound, and you're sending out into the world. Exhale this breath. Take a deep inhale. Bow in towards your inner light. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.